Hi guys, and welcome back to the Hot Seat with Priscilla. I am your host, Priscilla Moy, and as always, we're going to get right into the guests. Our first guest is a businesswoman and an owner of Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa here in Las Vegas. And she also happens to be a sponsor of social media shows. So we always have to thank our sponsors, and she's going to be one of them, and I can't wait to introduce you guys to her. So everyone, please welcome Lisa Mascari. Hi, it's nice to meet you. Please take a seat on the hot seat. Hopefully it's not too hot for you.
Okay, good.
Okay, great. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you here. We have not had any massage facial person here, so this is going to be really great for those, especially after Valentine's Day. Everyone's practicing self-care and things like that. So I know you own Hand and Stone Facial and Massage Spa, and that's in more of the Henderson side. Correct.
Well, we actually have two. So there's one at Silverado Ranch in Maryland, and the other one is at Mark Street and Sunset. So one is at technically Las Vegas, and the other is Henderson.
Okay, great. So that's absolutely amazing. So I know I was looking at your website. I haven't actually gone, but you have so many different things, like so many different massages, and then hair removal, and then you also have facials as well. So are you yourself an esthetician? Do you act and do any of those services?
I am not.
So you're just that queen. You're just CEO,
I'm just
correct?
Owner, yes.
Yes. And so what made you get into this industry, so to speak?
I was in Philly. I had just moved to Philly, and I was doing outside sales. And one of my college friends gave me a call and said, "Hey, I have a friend who's opening a spa, and they're looking for a manager." And she said, "I know you just started your job, but it might be something you'd be interested in." I thought, okay, I'm always open to, new possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and interviewed with one of the owners, and one of the things that he said during the interview was himself and his partner were looking for someone long-term. They wanted someone to run the University City in Philly location, but someone to maybe partner with long-term to open 3, 4, 5, as many as they wanted to. And that kind of jumped out at me. I always wanted to open my own business. I didn't think it would be a spa. So I started working there, and I was running the place, and I loved it. And I loved the owners, so we partnered together and formed a company. And then we decided on Las Vegas for our market, because that was where Hand and Stone was kind of looking at the time. And we picked our location, and as we were driving around Las Vegas, someone in the car said, "I think one of us should move here. It would be much better than trying to do everything remotely." And without hesitation, I said, "I'll move."
Yeah.
And so I just picked up and moved, and here we are.
Yeah, so it's way different from the East Coast, right? So
Very different.
I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Chicago, so I can tell the difference. And then literally when you come here, you're like, you see the sun, you see the palm trees, you're like, oh my gosh.
I love it. I love it.
So how long has it been since you've been in Las Vegas?
July will be 4 years.
Okay,
already.
so around the same time I have too. So it's it goes quick, but then you also are like, oh my gosh, it's been
I
that
can't
long
believe
already,
it's been 4
right?
years already. Yeah.
And so what really draws you to the spa, apart from the business side? Like, you obviously stayed because you like, the business, you like the owners, you like that, but is there anything about specifically what these spas do that you're like, oh my God, now I'm hooked in it? Like, is there anything that draws you to that?
Well, the health and wellness is so important, especially, I think, since COVID. I don't think we take enough time for ourselves, and I find that I work myself to death, and I don't take enough time for myself. And being there every day is a great reminder that I need to take time for myself, and I need to get massages. And this morning, even I'm getting ready, and I think, I need a facial. So, and I know where I can get one.
Right.
So I think just the industry itself and self-care and self-love is very important.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So do you see, I'm sure, like, you see a lot of the clients that come and go, do you see a difference? Okay. Or do they tell you about, their experience with it and the difference that they feel?
That's kind of the best part, because Hand and Stone, we are membership driven. That's one of the things. You can join up our lifestyle program and become a member. So the wonderful thing is I do get to see people every month, or some people come more often. So if they're coming every month and seeing an esthetician, I can see a difference in their skin, or they'll come out of a service and say, "That was the best service I've ever had. I'm so relaxed," or "I love my massage therapist." So I see a difference sometimes when they go in compared to even when they come out. and you form a relationship with them because they're coming in on a monthly basis. So
Yeah.
a lot of times they'll come in and they'll pop their head into the office and say, "Hi, ladies, how
Yeah.
you doing?" And it's great.
Yeah, and I'm sure with so many different things that you have, it can kind of draws people in more because they don't have to go to multiple different places if they want to get hair removal, if they want a certain massage. Like you guys pretty much have a bunch of different options
Yes.
there for people to kind of indulge in or to
Mhm.
try out.
Mhm.
So do you have a favorite? I know, let's start with massages. There's so many different ones like deep tissue, stone, sports, all of those. Is there one that you particularly like those? Have you tried them all?
I have tried almost all of them. My personal favorite is the Himalayan salt stone
Oh, okay.
with CBD.
Okay.
We call that the power of
Mhm.
nature, and it's amazing. So that's my favorite for massage.
Yeah, so let's go over like quickly the difference between each massage. You know, like you have the sports, obviously prenatal, that's more so for women that are expecting.
So there's the basic Swedish, and then there's our signature hot stone, which is the Black River rocks we use, and they are in water at 120 degrees, and the therapists use those to manipulate so they're not using their hands the whole entire time. Then the Himalayan salt stones, which have 27 minerals, and it's phenomenal. And then deep tissue. A lot of people get that confused with like a very firm massage, and they'll ask for that. But we always sometimes want to make sure we understand the difference. It's not just firm pressure. It's a whole different thing. Reflexology, where they're just working on feet, and you actually stay clothed for that. Craniosacral is new. One of my therapists just got certified in that, and that you are clothed as well, and she works on different parts that way. Prenatal, of course, which that's a big one. We have a lot of women that come in for that. So there's a lot of different ones.
Yeah, because I always wonder.
The sports massage, like you said, that's a lot of stretching, and that they incorporate the stretching into the massage.
Yeah, so because the big thing is people choosing which one, and then like you said, a lot of if they're not used to massage or they don't get it often, sometimes it's really rough and like it's a lot of pain. Like a lot of people have to have a really high pain tolerance to deal with some of the different massage techniques and all going through that. Like for me, I don't go to massage often, so I'm like I don't feel like. So people are like, you should go get a deep tissue. You seem stressed. I'm like. I feel like I'd leave more stress, being like, oh God, I can't move. Now I need a sports one to get me flexible again. Yeah, so now you have like hair removal, and I know on your website it says like wax free, or am I wrong?
So that's
with
the
it?
new free.
Okay.
We have the new free, which is a soy base, and then our hard wax.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna wonder like, so how do you guys? Because I know it's not a laser treatment, right?
It is
so
not.
you guys still kind of do like the whole pull.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
Great. And facials. Now, is there different types of facials that you guys do, and like depending on
the classic facial, is what you make the appointment for, and then you'll come in and talk with the esthetician and have a consultation about what you're trying to achieve from the service, and then they'll take a look at your skin under the light, and then they will make recommendations based on what you asked for and what they're seeing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different things you can try. We do a lot of different upgrades and different things, and you walk out feeling like $1 million.
Yeah, because I'm like, I wonder. I'm like, oh my God, I'd love somebody to just tell me and just like treat me. You just feel like a queen. You're sitting there, you're just like, yes, please.
And it's relaxing.
Yeah.
That's kind of the nice thing. You're leave there with your skin feeling fresh and beautiful, but you feel relaxed too, which is great.
So what is the session time roughly around? So if someone were to go in there and they're like, hey, I have a busy schedule, but I want to do that, but I always feel stressed. I have something coming up and I want to look great for. What's kind of like the time period that they would need?
So the appointments itself are an hour, but it's 50 minutes hands-on because we allow 5 minutes to dress and undress. But for a massage, you could actually get a 90-minute or even a 2-hour. And after you do that, you never want another 1 hour again because it's so amazing. So the facial is a 1 hour service, and then the massages start at 1 hour.
Oh,
we actually even have a 30-minute express facial. We don't do them that often, but sometimes someone just wants to come in and do something quickly just to feel better, and so we do that as well.
Do you guys have like a time frame where you're like, okay, you can come back within this time frame that would be healthy, or you have to wait? Because I'm sure people are just like, oh, I want to do it weekly, or I want to do it every other day because I love how firm my skin feels.
It would just depend on the service. So massage, you can come as often as you would like. For facial, depending on an upgrade you would do, sometimes you should wait 2 weeks before you come back in.
Okay.
So if you're just doing a classic facial, you could come every day if you want.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are just like, oh, yes, please treat me, because they're like, I have a membership. Oh my goodness. But that, I always wondered what it would be like to have that much relaxation. Because a lot of times I think the biggest thing, especially for people who are entrepreneurs or business owners like yourself, to find time where you're like, no, I have to block out this time to go there and just dedicate it to me without having all these things going in your mind, right? When you're lying there.
That's so true, because we were just even talking about that at work the other day. Someone will say, oh, let's schedule this in. And I open my book and I will say, okay, here's an open day. Let's schedule this. And I don't schedule myself time off. And I said, I need to start scheduling my days off, because I just see an opening and I go, okay, I'll meet you at this time.
Right.
And we can discuss this. Or I'll, book here. And then I realized I didn't even take a day off. So you have to schedule time for yourself.
Because like you see a day off and you're like, oh, I could do that day. But then now you're actually working or doing something that day.
Correct.
And you're like, because then I feel like you're kind of like me. Like, I feel like you also have a really strong work ethic. So when you're not working, you're like, I feel like I have something to do. Why am I sitting here?
All the time.
Yes.
All the time. You feel guilty. Like, I can't just sit and relax.
Yeah, and then you're like, and I forgot something. You're like, oh my goodness, I forgot to do something, or I'm missing something. Oh no, now I didn't respond to an email. They're going to hate me.
I'm forever on my phone. Or the laptop sitting at the table. It's nonstop. But that's, I think, too, part of me. It's my drive. It's my passion.
Yeah, I mean, you came out here for work, same as myself. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing. So, is there something that you're taking away? I'm sure, like, as you know, you learn every day more about your craft or more about whatever it is that you do, the more you do it. Is there something that you love about Vegas that taught you something different that you wouldn't have learned back at home?
Maybe trying to make more time for myself, because I don't do it. And here there's so many things outdoors. Like, I love walking. I love to walk. And the other day after work, I said, it is beautiful out. Go for a walk. And I went for a 6-mile walk. I used to do that back home, but out here there's so many beautiful places to actually go. So that's what was kind of nice. So I went and ventured to find something different, and it's just different because you can. There's just a lot of places to go.
Yeah, it's very. I found out the difference, even though we come from bigger cities. In retrospect, everything here is more accessible, and you can always find something to do. And the mountains aren't that far. If you want to go for a hike, like there's always a swimming pool that you can go to in the summer. Back in bigger cities, it's not that easy.
No. You're kind of tied to the season and travel sometimes, getting around.
Right.
Like when I lived in Philly, I took the train everywhere, so I probably drove my car twice a month. Whereas here, I drive every day. Yeah. So that's different.
Right. And so did you move out here by yourself, or
by myself?
By yourself? Oh, goodness. So you didn't really have to worry about also worrying how other people are taking the change, Or
no, my family's all in Pittsburgh though, and that's hard because I miss them a lot. And I have great friends in Pittsburgh and in State College and in Philly. Yeah. But I did this for me, so I got rid of almost everything I own. I packed 12 boxes and shipped them and flew out. And when
that's it, 12 boxes? Oh, girl. I wish I could just have 12 boxes.
Yeah, that was rough. But it was better to do it that way and buy everything new here than to transport it across the country. And then one of my friends was kind enough to drive my car out, so I flew and I was here in no time, and it was great.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So what's the biggest thing the hardest thing, I would say, your biggest hardship of moving out? We talk about family and being away from them, but is there anything that you're finding you still need to adjust to?
Being away from my family and some of my friends. A lot of my friends are on the East Coast, but I've been so blessed out here that I have made such great friends. Yeah. Every place I've lived, I've always found a handful of just amazing people. And it happened here as well. So that's why I feel truly blessed, but I miss my family and friends a lot.
Yeah, because that's the hardest thing when I've learned in Vegas. You can meet so many people, come and go, but a lot of those people are also transient. They're come and go, or they're also not always on your same level of mindset, and so you lose some, you gain some, and it's just like, it's a lot for someone who's always busy working. You don't have to worry about, dang it, like I have some drama with friends, or I feel alone. you know, obviously you've made good friends here at social media shows. Like, you know, with Maria, you walk in, you're like, oh my God, hi, which we love. And you're also sponsored. So I do want to highlight that because we want to thank you for that. Is there anything special about social media shows that you really felt inclined to kind of dabble your hands in?
Honestly, it was Maria.
Oh, okay.
It was
the
Maria.
queen.
I met her last year. I was on a podcast that she was producing, and she was amazing. And we always kept in touch. And, you know, she had reached out to me about the sponsorship and about coming on the show. And so, yeah, it was because of Maria.
Oh, amazing. Well, we thank you so much for being on the show. And there's one more question that I want to ask you. I've been asking a lot of my guests. What is a motto or philosophy that you live by, if you have one?
I always say this, actually. It's nice to be nice. I think it's... Every day I start out with a positive quote, like on Facebook. I wake up and I look out my window and I see the mountains, and I always say, thanks God for another day. Yeah. And I feel truly blessed. But I think, like, just treating others kindly and being positive, being a really good, positive person the best you can be. It doesn't mean there aren't rough days. Yeah. But just spreading love and being kind. Yeah, and it goes a long way, and you'd be surprised how hard that is to find people like that. And I love asking that question because it kind of sums up the person as a whole. There's a way that they answer that, and there's never a wrong answer for that, but it kind of just sums up how you live your life and, you know, how you would it be approachable? Because, you know, sometimes like, oh no, they're just judging based on what you look like, you know, what you do for a living, and they don't really give the opportunity to say, hi, my name is, like, and get to know you. And I think as a business owner, it's important to highlight because then people can kind of see, like, because now you're kind of advertising, so I would say face of the business, that this is someone that you would want to come and support and kind of learn about if you're looking for a hand in stone or doing any of those things. So yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. I love that. And I love it's. And I always try to support local, so anything that I can do to help support local businesses and the entertainment community, all that. So it's nice to be able to do that, and I have them support me. It's nice to help each other out. Exactly, and I love that because it's coming from someone that's not technically in this business, you know, that actually does on-camera work, you know, on the side, and to get that support from people is good because you can also tell people, no, it's not what it seems. There's more to it, and please support them because they're going to be on the screen one day, and you're going to be like, dang it, I should have talked to her. But everyone, Lisa Mascari, she's absolutely beautiful. Please visit her location, Silverado Ranch, and Silverado Ranch in Maryland, and the other location is Marks and Sunset. Yes, and people could come in for a consultation if they want to find out about membership prices. Or they can call, they can do whatever. So the telephone number for Silverado Ranch is 702-941-7833, and the Henderson location is 725-257-8011. Or you can look us up online at our website. The Silverado Ranch is www.handandstonesilveradoranch.com. I always get that tongue tied. And Henderson is handandstonehenderson.com. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being on the hot seat. It's been a pleasure interviewing you and getting to know you. I'm sure this isn't the last time I'm going to see you. So everyone, Lisa Mascari, all the information, please replay it, share, subscribe, let all your friends know. And when we come back from the break, we're going to have another wellness person come sit in the hot seat. So please stay tuned.